Hello there again, and thanks so much for joining me. And today, again, it's probably another episode of Random Ronnie. But it was just something I wanted to, talk to you about, and um, it has to do with, the uncertain times and the amount of stress that is upon a lot of us, especially single parents. And I want you to know that there are some things that you can do to relieve some of that stress and where you are not internalizing things and maybe making hasty decisions that can cause some heartache for yourself and for your children or family down the road. So, with that being said, for those of you that are new here, I'm Veronica, and I help people that are going through different life changes during these uncertain times by helping them with organization and practical tools to be able to get to the next goal or positive phase in their life. So, um, getting back to navigating a lot of anxiety in uncertain times, some of the things that you can do, number one is journaling. Write your thoughts down. Something's really bothering you or something you're wanting to figure out. It's a good idea to, write it down and maybe come back to it later. Um, Another thing, if you're in the midst of, a possible, say, anxiety attack, there are some things you can do in your head, and other people don't even have to know that you are doing it. It's called 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I never remember the order. The order is not important. Say, for example, 5 things that you can see. Look around in your, space. 5 things you can see. Of course, not something that's upsetting. You want 5 positive things. You want to focus on positive things. 4 things that you can touch. 3 things that you can smell. Um, and then 2 things that you can possibly taste. And then 1 thing you can hear. Again, the order's not important. You could do 5 things that you can hear, and so on. The main thing is to get your mind off what is possibly triggering you. Another good thing, and this is something maybe you can even do with your family, friends, and children, especially age appropriate children. It's something called categories. So um, very simple. Get a piece of paper. Um, if you're at home, you want to prepare this ahead of time. So, like, say a category is colors, you want to write down as many colors as you can think of. And then, if you were doing this as a game or something, or if someone in your household, even if it's you that's having a meltdown, start that. Say you're having a stressful day, the boss is on you, contacting you on your phone constantly, you're in the grocery store trying to get out, you know, start thinking of categories, how many women do I see? Or how many women do I see with brown hair? You know, how many men do I see with bald heads? Whatever. How many types of gum are on the rack? Different things to be able to help, calm you down and to get your focus off the thing that is triggering you. And the most important thing is, sometimes we just need to take some time to ourselves, but don't take too much time and learn to express to those that are in your circle. I call it your care circle. Let them know different triggers, different things that bother you. And if you're in a situation or a mood, let them know how they can, help. It may be, hey, if you see them, starting to, get a little upset, give me a moment, give me a few minutes. Some people, if you say calm down, that upsets them. So, you want to communicate to people and let them know, some of the things that, may trigger you. Also, when we're, talking about possible generational traumas, say for example, with religion or in the churches and so on, a lot of times we'll see leaders that are doing the wrong thing, but yet, they will place judgment and so on you, or you may go to them for advice and they may counteract and come at you with, you know, an inappropriate action or response. Um, Try and remember that they are people too, and at the same time, know that even though maybe something they may say or do may initially feel good or sound good, but morally it's not good, try and avoid giving into temptation. Um, a lot of times, when we're already traumatized, we're already dealing with things, some people will see that and take advantage of that. And just know that you don't have to internalize that. Find a safe place. Keep looking. If you don't want to talk within your immediate work circle or your, maybe school environment or within your family, find a safe space where you feel comfortable expressing your concerns so you can get the right resources. Because usually what ends up happening is when we internalize those things, it, usually builds up what I like to call a volcano, and then we end up exploding. Someone will say something, and it could be totally irrelevant to what the discussion is about, but it can trigger you and you explode on them, or you go really over the top and do something that can maybe even cost you, your freedom, your life, because of unresolved traumas. And just know that even though sometimes parents or elders or sometimes they say the wrong things and tell us we're not worth anything, know that you are here for a reason. You have a purpose. And a lot of times the saying is, hurt people. Sometimes people just don't know any better, and a lot of times they are regurgitating the hurt and the things that have been put on them throughout their lives, and a lot of times that is tearing, you know, their children down and so on, because that is what has happened to them. A lot of times, because you may go a different route in your life, um, or maybe you're going a route that they wish they had gone. Like, say, maybe for example, you decided to go back to school, like me. Well, I'm constantly going back to school. Um, I've been back to school like maybe 10 times, but I'm not going to stop till, as they say, the casket drops. I enjoy school, I enjoy learning. And sometimes you're doing something that they wanted to do, and instead of congratulating you, you don't really get any response. So know that you don't need them to clap. The most important person to clap for you is God. And remember, whatever you do, do it to the fullest. Make sure it brings you joy, and it brings joy and happiness to the Lord. And you are helping those around you, your community, and beyond. So remember, you are important, you are valued, you are needed, and you matter. So, as I always say, be a blessing, and be blessed. And remember to like, comment, share, all of the things, because I'm trying to get my numbers up, guys. So help me. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And I do look forward again to your comments. I look forward to you sharing, subscribing, liking, and so on. Bye. Bye for now.